Hey everyone, it's Becca with the Red Roof Flower Farm, back for another video. Let's be perfectly honest. There's no guarantee that I'm going to succeed on the flower farm this year. I really do have some serious challenges, especially with manpower, that I'm going to have to overcome. And there's no guarantee that I will be able to do that. I do have something going for me though that most flower farmers don't, and that is you. I've got all these wonderful people who know lots and lots that are following my channel already. And so today I want to tap into your knowledge and get some tips from you. I'm kind of turning the tables on the YouTube thing. Normally people tune into a YouTuber to learn from them, but you know, collectively there's a lot more knowledge in the audience than there is in the flesh here right now. And I want to acknowledge that. Obviously, like I do have farming experience. This is my 7th year farming. So I'm not, you know, completely without an understanding of what's going on, but I have knowledge gaps and I do have skill gaps as well. And this is one of my attempts to address that. Today, I'm going to be asking all of you to write down in the comments answers to some of the questions that I have that I need help with. Already in the comments, people have helped me to improve some of my ideas. Like for example, in one of my videos, I was talking about how I'm going to number all of the beds on the farm this year. And they mentioned that it's really useful if you kind of add a prefix letter before the bed numbers, and then the letters correspond to different segments of the farm, just because they've had difficulties with people knowing where, you know, bed 42 is. If it's like A42, then you know, oh, that's in the A block, you know, that's in the B block, that's in the C block. Makes a lot of sense to me. And, you know, just like a little thing like that helps me a lot. There are things that I need more help on and things that I need less help on. So I am going to go through a little bit of the things that I don't need help on first, so that you're not wasting your time telling me ideas that don't really, you know, apply to me. Number one, you know, I get this all the time. People are suggesting books for me to read. Unfortunately, I have ADHD. I have a real hard time making it through a book. I've kind of given up on trying to read books because it's just not how I learn. I can watch a video. I can maybe listen to a podcast these days, but I cannot, no matter how hard I try, open a book and maintain a concentration on it to be able to get through it. If you have a book that you want me to read, maybe, you know, there's a concept in it that you are thinking that would be really important to me. You can mention that concept and I can learn that concept. But just giving me a book to read, I'm going to pass over those. Next up, no new business ideas. I'm not going to start making jam. I am not going to host photography. I am also not, unfortunately, currently going to be growing veggies for sale. That may change in the future. I know that food prices are going up, and so that opens up opportunities. But for this current season, I am not going to be selling veggies. So, you know, don't bother mentioning it. I've thought about it. That might change in the future, but right now, no plans. YouTube, you know, like maybe in the future I'll crowdsource some YouTube ideas, but for the moment I've got my YouTube vision taken care of. Although I am always open to video ideas. So if you have a video that you want to see me make, you are welcome to drop that down in the comments. There is one more thing that I don't need advice on, and I'm going to go to the front of the property to talk about that. The last thing I want to touch on is landscaping for the front of my property. Obviously, there's nothing growing out here right now. It's pretty cold, but I know people are always suggesting that I beautify the front of the property more. I do have plans to do that, especially with the David Austin roses. I got a bunch of climbing roses that I'm going to grow along the front this year. And other than that, I've got more signage that I'm going to be putting out this year to try to draw in more customers. Okay, now I'm going back inside because it's cold out here. Winter. Oh, it's cold out. My nose is all red. Now we're finally on to the things that I do need help with. And if you have something that you do want to suggest to me, leave a comment down below. And like I've said in other videos, I'm probably not going to respond to it, but I'm going to read everything. And after this video, I'm definitely going to write down all the ideas that I want to pursue and, you know, start following up on them. So please, if you have suggestions for me, write a comment down below. And the first thing is plants. I could really use lots and lots of suggestions about things that you grow or that you've seen grown that you think would be beneficial for me to grow. So I am in zone 5. I get cold winters, hot, dry summers. So, things that love moisture, not always appropriate for me. The number one thing that I'm looking for is perennials that I can start by seed that I can sell. Something that grabs a customer's attention. If a customer comes to the stand and they are immediately looking at a certain flower, then I know that that one has kind of caught their attention. And if it's a bunch of different people all being drawn to the same flower, then you know that you have something that really speaks to people. Some are extremely productive, others, much less so. So anything that is very productive definitely ranks higher on my list. Cost is always an issue, although, if a seed costs, 10 cents instead of 8 cents, it doesn't really make a big difference in the grand scheme of things. If it sells, if it does well, if it produces, then of course, if something is perennial, it's going to rank a little higher as opposed to just an annual. I am looking to fill my farm up with lots of perennials that I can use for cut flowers, stuff that's good for weddings. Certain varieties of roses do really well with weddings. And so if you could just fill up my comments with all of these different plants that you have found success with, or you think that I could find success with, then I would really appreciate that. I'm going to be talking about some of the new plants that I'm growing in my next video when I start showing off some of the seeds that I've bought. For now, if you have an idea of a plant you think will work for me, just put it down in the comments. I really would appreciate that. Next up, this isn't going to be something that's necessarily going to be current for this video, but it's really, I wanted to kind of put it near the start of this video because it's really important to me. I'm hoping that as I'm making bouquets this year, that in the comments you can nicely give me feedback on how you think my bouquets look, color palettes, arrangements, value. Value can be a little bit tough because I do live in a high cost of living area where the $20 price point for me to sell at might be okay. Maybe the equivalent is like $10 in a lower cost of living area. Just keep in mind that $20 for me, might be different than $20 bouquet for you. Still though, I would really like to hear how you see the value in the bouquets that I'm selling. I'd be interested in any sort of creative ideas for the wraps. I'm going to be using the same brown paper wraps that we've been using on the farm for many years, but I am open to some suggestions on how to make it look better. And finally, if you have tips on how to put bouquets together, I know the basics and I'm going to be kind of assembly lining together most of my bouquets. But if you're watching videos and you're like, have you thought about doing this or that? Then I'd really like to hear that. I'm open to feedback. I do not think that I know everything. That's not how I roll. And so if you have suggestions for me throughout the season on my bouquets, I would really, really appreciate hearing from you, because that's I can hear positives back from my customers. Oh, the bouquets lasted really long. They were so beautiful. Everybody really liked them. But you don't hear from the people that didn't buy, right? You don't interact with the people who didn't buy your flowers. And so I really want to tap into what people see when they see my flowers. What is it that goes through their mind? And that is a starting point for me to be able to think creatively and come up with new solutions. Behind me, you can see a bunch of racks for grow lights. There's some more in other places in the farm as well. All of these are hopefully going to fit, or pretty much are going to fit, in the new seedling room that I am working on. I hope to get it done tomorrow, but it is over here in the shop. I'm hoping to get about 5 or 6 racks, kind of along this side here. Have a little spot along here to get the trays, filled with soil and seeded. And then I've got a little spot here that's covered in gloves and garbage to water them before, they go up here. And I've got a manifold over here where there's going to be water available. And my idea was to potentially set up drip irrigation, but I would be curious to see if you had this seedling room, how would you set up your watering system for the seedlings? Like, what do you think I should do? Basically, is what I'm saying. I was like, give me some ideas. I was thinking about connecting up to those valves and then coming up over the ceiling and then dropping down into the racks and having like bottom watering setups going where I can just like turn the valve and then everything fills up the trays and then I can turn it off and I can have a, hose with an end on it that I can still water the trays if one of them doesn't get watered or something like that. But I want it to be like really quick, really efficient. You don't just have to write things out too. You can send me links to videos to watch that have really good, efficient setups for any of this. I'm looking for revolutionary farm techniques. I haven't had a lot of time to watch YouTube videos lately. I've been so busy. So, bombard me with things to watch and I will follow through. It's also cold in there, so I just want to sit in the nice warm couch and be warm. Next up relates to something that I really need to start working on, my farm plan. I need an app that has like a calendar function so that I can load in all of my weekly tasks into it and kind of use it as a checklist to fertilize this, plant this, seed this many trays of that, so that every week at the start of the week, I know the tasks that I need to do. And once I have it in an app, then I can take that information out of my head and I can just focus on doing that specific task, planting those seedlings, doing whatever it is that's on the list. But I don't know what app to use. And if people out there have a suggestion, I'd really appreciate some insight on that. I will pay money for something that is really good, but I also would like a free option if there's a free option. I don't want to just use Google Calendar. Next up, is there any cool tools out there that I should be aware of that could really help me work more efficiently? I would love to have a tractor, but I don't have tractor money right now. I don't even know if I have staying on this farm money. If you're going to suggest a tractor, sorry, not going to happen. I'm open to other ideas. So, suggest a way. Tell me what you would have in my position. I do have a fair amount of stuff already, like a BCS tractor, a wheel hoe, lots of hand tools. But, maybe there's something out there that I've never heard of and is new or something like that. Suggest it to me, because I am really just trying to look at everything with a fresh perspective and find out how to run this farm efficiently. I think by this point in the video, you probably are, getting what I'm trying to say and you understand what I'm looking for. Basically, to end it off, I'm just going to clump everything else together. It's kind of just like a general, if you have ideas on how I could, plant faster, harvest faster, send them to me. If it's a video, then that's perfect. If you want to write it out, that's perfect as well. Basically, just a various, do you have ideas for what I should be doing? I want to hear it. I want to hear what you all think about what I'm doing and how I could do it better. Because I found in the past that, not all ideas are applicable, not all ideas are usable. But if you even incorporate 5% of the ideas that are told to you, and that makes for a way more efficient, productive farm, then you're ahead in the game, right? You just made progress. I want to do it right. So, let me know. Hold me accountable too. You can all question why I have or have not done the things that you suggested, but I really would appreciate the feedback from all of you. And I want to stress that this isn't just for this video. Going through the whole year, I really would also appreciate feedback on the bouquets. That is really important to me. But I'm going to leave it there. Leave your ideas down below, and I'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye.